Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the BitcoinMeister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show, the One Bitcoin Combo Show. We got a lot of interesting things for you today. I'm outside, so pound that like button. Strong hand, long-term thinking. Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. Do not FOMO on alts. All right. So I just want to make sure I'm in Salt Lake City. You can see the mountains. It's beautiful. That's they call that Harvey Milk Boulevard behind me. They don't talk about Jim Jones and Harvey Milk around here. They just talk about Harvey. Anyway, that's a different story. So this show is a special show. It's a compilation show where I'm gonna. It's 4 parts. So the first part here is the modern stuff, is the news of the day, real quick. A little bit of beyond Bitcoin stuff. Now play this at 2x so you can get through the stuff you don't want. Then we're going to get a beyond Bitcoin clip that a lot of you never saw. It's about systems and just speaking up and telling the truth and having conviction. Have conviction, dudes. And then we're going to have a flashback to 2019, where I talk about Ethereum a little bit. I'm interviewed by Matt Brown in South Africa. A lot of you have never seen that. And it concludes with a 2017 clip where you see my strong hand for Bitcoin and how I do not buy into the flavor of the month ICO nonsense. It's great. So that's what this video is all about. I think it's going to be close to, all those 4 parts add up to like a half hour or something like that. So again, play it at 2x. I really hope you can see the mountains of Salt Lake City. There's a lot of glare out, so I don't know what you're seeing. But I'm standing in the park. I'm a block away from where, and you can see the rainbow flags behind me that I was telling you about, and the Democrat signs. So I'm about a block away from where my Airbnb is. It's just a beautiful neighborhood. It's a beautiful city, and it's a beautiful day. So let me tell you about Safideen real quick. That's what I want to share. I'm going to read you something here, and then we'll get to the other stuff. All right, so let's get to Safideen, what Safideen had to say. And again, beautiful scenery out here. Maybe I should I walk? Should I walk and talk at the same time? Okay, let's get Safideen here. Sorry, guys. This is and check it out. It is linked to below. Check out this beautiful post by him. Okay, he says, first of all, did I remind everyone to join Parler? No, I did not. I did not do that. I had to take a second take of this. That's why I don't know what I even said now. But join Parler. This is Alternative Tuesday. And I'm encouraging you all to use alternative platforms. And I'm giving you an alternative style show here. The CEO just said he's not going to censor anything. But yeah, play this at 2x, people, to skip through everything. How to grill steak and beat fiat food. It's Safideen's guide to meat. And what I agree with him strongly here is this quote: the most important fiat foods to avoid, in my opinion, are hydrogenated vegetable seed and grain oils, sugar, flour, high fructose corn syrup, low-fat foods, breakfast cereal, and all the products made from this toxic cocktail of junk, which is roughly 95% of everything in your supermarket. That is linked to below. Also, remember, dudes, I'm starting something called Adam's Lost and Found. You report stories to me that no one else is talking about, lost stories, quote unquote, and I will find them and talk about them. Oh yeah, Safideen also talks about bone broth, organ meats. If he's eaten meat like for 2 years straight or something like that. check it out. I find it fascinating. The meat lifestyle. Obviously, I'm not that hardcore. I eat plenty of meat, but I don't eat the junk that we agree what is junk. Definitely. Okay, back to the rest of the show now. It'll be fun editing all this. All right, see ya.
There is a guy out there named John the Other. He had a video that inspired what I'm about to talk about. It's linked to below his video. Is totalitarianism, is that just censorship by the government? Is it just a little group of people controlling everything, forcing everyone to be slaves, basically, to the government? No, it isn't. It takes, especially at first, it takes voluntary participation of the people. The government starts telling lies, and then everyone starts to agree with those lies. And they start to, they want to fit in. So they tell lies too. People are encouraged to inform. People inform on other people. Informing and lying becomes the norm. No one speaks up. It's not just a little group of people in government saying, you must do this, you must lie, you must. No, they lie, and then maybe the media will lie too. Other aspects of it's just rolling a snowball rolling down a hill, just gaining momentum, becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. Society ends up based around lies because people are scared to tell the truth. People want to fit in. Everyone buys into the set of lies. Don't buy into the lies, people. And it all starts out with just, not everyone's telling lies at first. Not everyone at first. But eventually there becomes peer pressure to agree with the lies and to just fit in. Fitting in is overrated. Be defiant. Start right now. So John the Other, what he mentioned specific lies that are out there now and how people are just easily giving in to them and how he calls them out. But most people, they want to fit in. They'll get the hits if they tell the lie, the popular lie. Oh, this is normal now. It was just a protest. There wasn't violence. It wasn't a riot. It's a protest. It's a protest. That's all it was a protest. There wasn't a riot in Los Angeles. My eyes were deceiving me. the broken glass the next day. No. But enough people tell the lie. Even people know they're lying. They have to say it. Okay. So right here, this video is reminding all of you out there to tell the truth. Tell the truth. That, hey, cases are spread. There are more cases of the virus out there because there's more testing that's going on right now. Should you be panic-stricken because there are more cases? No, you should not be panic-stricken. But the mainstream narrative now, what many people are saying is, yes, you should be worried that there are more cases. No, you shouldn't be worried that there are more cases. Things like this, they're unacceptable to the mainstream now. All right? I am going to keep telling the truth. So I encourage all of you, keep making your videos, keep telling your truth. Keep telling the truth. All right? Keep telling the truth. And if you're scared to be a public person out there, to tweet it out, to retweet it, to do anything in your own voice, then just retweet me. Spread the word. Watch these shows, okay? Spread the word. And about other truth tellers also. Keep the true people that tell the truth out there, okay? Keep. And if YouTube believes in lies. If people are telling the truth, they censor videos, they get rid of videos. Okay, that's their business. If they want to do that, that doesn't mean that you should just stop watching those people. Find out where they are, go to BitChute, do whatever, be defiant, keep speaking the truth. And John says that people say he's brave to do that. Okay, I mean, you can call him brave, you can call him whatever you want to call it. For me, it's just normal, speaking the truth. Fitting in is overrated. And if you're scared to speak the truth in this day and age, you can, in your own voice, you can do it other ways by retweeting people. Be defiant. Now, and let's go to people talking about the system. Now, I've spoken about on this show how everyone should create their own system, something that guides their life. a routine, okay? And it all involves personal responsibility. For me, I do a news show every day. I exercise every day. I eat healthy food every day. And it just, you repeat, repeat, repeat. And that brings about a healthier, more well-rounded Adam Meister, happier Adam Meister. Instead of saying a goal like, hey, I want to lose 50 pounds or something like that, create a healthy system for yourself, okay? So systems over goals, and that's on the personal level. Now, there's something out there that's very, it really holds people back. People try to say, there's a system out there. The system is keeping me down. The capitalist system is keeping me down. X, Y, and Z system is keeping me down. Some system, some mysterious group has implemented is keeping me down. That is an excuse. That's an excuse. You're not stuck in someone else's system, some mega system out there, okay? Even if you're living in a socialist country, it's being ruled in a socialist manner. I'm the socialist system. I cannot escape. I'm a slave to the. No, you are not. You saying that the system is keeping you down, it is an excuse. It is giving up your power to outside forces, outside entities. You have power within, okay? You create your own system for yourself. So have the mindset. There is no overriding system out there. There is no, when you hear people saying it's the system's fault, we have to get rid of the system, we have to overthrow this, do that, and the other, it's a waste of time. It's word salad half the time, okay, with how they describe the system, what it is, and how they're going to, there's no really end goal to it. It's a bunch of excuses, okay? It's people not taking personal responsibility, okay? It's deferring their personal responsibility. It's giving up their power to someone else, some other entity out there. So I don't want to hear it's the system that's keeping me down. You create your own system. You ignore what people try to say is some mysterious power structure out there. You're in charge of yourself. You're in charge of yourself. So a lot lately we've been hearing about the system. The system needs to be revamped. It's the system's fault. It's the capitalistic system's fault. All right, so what are you going to do about it? You're going to tear down statues? No. If you feel you are in a bad situation, you change yourself. You change yourself. You don't attack some them. Again, it's scapegoating. The system is scapegoating. You're blaming something called the system. That's your scapegoat. Something called the system. And that system does not exist. You can make your own personal system. That is what I recommend. Your own way of governing yourself. Do not give up your governance to someone else. All right, finally, we have people here in the chat. It's good to see. Oh, yeah, if you got questions, I got answers. Are they attributing car accidents to the virus? Well, again, if you got in a car accident and you die, and then they test you positive for the virus, they can list you as dying from the virus. That has there's an incentive, a perverse incentive out there, since hospitals get more money for people that have the virus, to just say it's the virus. If someone's sick, just say, hey, yeah, that's it, and they'll be compensated more. This has been documented out there before. 90% of the people don't want the truth. They want the corn sear version of a story, says Tay International. Oh, and you're very right about that, Tay. You can't handle the truth is what you should say to those people, okay? Most people cannot handle the truth, and that's why totalitarianism can happen in so many countries. They can't handle the truth. They're deniers. They're afraid. They want to fit in. So this is why people like me, I try to set a baseline here and just say, I'm not scared. I'm going to keep on telling the truth. I am going to keep on. I want to set an example out there. All right. And on a personal level, it makes me healthier to tell the truth. You're a healthier person if you tell the truth. If you really express the way you're thinking, you are healthier. If you are conforming, you're constraining yourself. You're constraining yourself, and that's not healthy. I mean, all right, Adam. What's my excuse for not having a wife and a family? You're happy to be alone, spewing 30 minutes of nonsense to the camera every day. Well, dude, you really don't get it, do you? Fitting in is overrated. That's what this whole video has been about. You don't have listening comprehension. Fitting in is overrated. Why should I have a wife and a family? I'm quite happy the way I am, spouting nonsense every single day that you are watching every single day. So, hey, yeah, it's called the truth. Again, in this world where fitting in is, conforming to lies, when you hear truth, you call it nonsense. So again, you're an 80%er. It's very good. But yeah, you don't get the basic thing there. Having a wife and a family is fitting in. Do I need a wife? Do you know what it takes to have some of the pitfalls of having a wife? Having all of your wealth taken away from you? Okay, but what's this? I banged a lot of hot women out there, dudes. What's the point? What is the point for them to get another one to steal from me? And you might say to have a kid. That is a good point. I would like to have a son one day. I have a lot of money because of Bitcoin. I have a lot of Bitcoin. I can pay a woman in the future to have my kid when everything's fallen off of my body and I'm 100 years old. And maybe that's the way it's going to go. So again, I don't need to fit in. I don't need to have a family right this second. I definitely don't want to have a wife at this time. So yeah, fitting in is overrated. So there you go. It's a basic concept of this channel that you watch all the time and you still don't get it. Another thing I stress here is listening comprehension. So again, fitting in is overrated. All right, Anmar is in the house. Which one, in your opinion, is better? Compromising a high credit score by not paying debt, or increasing Bitcoin holdings? Oh, dude, that is a really good question there. Very good question there. You got to be really careful there, because you get rid of it. Let's say you go into major debt, you stop paying your debt, you bought a lot of Bitcoin. All right, but then you can't get a job anymore, maybe. And how about you get fired from your job? They look at your credit score when you try to get a job. How about if you need to all of a sudden buy a car? Your car's, you won't be able to buy a car. So what are you stuck with then? You got to sell your Bitcoin at that point. The whole point of ruining your credit score was to get that Bitcoin, and now you gotta sell the Bitcoin. So here's what I got to say about this. If you are financially skilled, if you really understand mathematics and interest rates, okay, you can get into some debt to buy Bitcoin. But I can't tell who those people are. But just by talking you, but to ruin your credit score, this is a very risky thing. So you take it one step at a time, okay? You take it once. You got to know your math, though. You have to understand interest rates, et cetera, et cetera. So getting into a little bit of if you have a system, have a plan. Just don't know how long you can live, just in case you lose your job because of all this. Okay, go through worst case scenarios. All right, greeting from the Philippines. You are a blessing. As I've said many times about the Philippines, I had a great friend in middle school and high school. He's still a friend of mine. His family's from the Philippines, and I've always wanted to visit the Philippines. God willing, I go there one day, and I can speak Tagalog with everyone over there. No, I don't know Tagalog, but I'm a little familiar with it. All right, now someone says I don't want a credit score, and who wants a credit score? You're absolutely right. Who wants a credit score? But there are definitely people who have not totally gotten into the Bitcoin overlay that still having a credit score is kind of important. Okay, it's kind of important. If you got a wife and a kid, you need to keep that credit score up. Unfortunately, okay. If you're not in the Bitcoin overlay, you need to keep that credit score up, because there's all sorts of costs involved with that. And you might have an emergency one day where you need to get a loan, and if you're unable to get a loan anymore, and then you cash out all your Bitcoin, then what do you have left? You have nothing left, just a horrible credit score. All right, but if you do get fully into the Bitcoin overlay, then yeah, a credit score isn't that important anymore. To me, is a credit score very important? To add no, it doesn't matter that much to me. I don't buy cars. I don't buy anything. If I need to buy a house one day, I could. If I had a bad credit score, and by the way, I have a good credit score. Something about having a good credit score also, that means you do have a personal system of fulfilling your debts, okay? Paying back your debts. That's a good habit to have. Being able to pay things back regularly, never getting into a situation where people are gaining interest because of you. There are some people that can mathematically set it up in a way that over the long run, okay, I'm paying this credit card 6% interest every month, 12% interest every month, but because of this huge Bitcoin stash I have, overall, I'm going to come out ahead. All right? And there's a lot of theory behind that, and it's not taking into account emergencies. I prefer personally to live a lifestyle where I have no debt. I'm not worried about where I have no debt and where no one's making interest off of me. I'm making interest off of other people, okay? I'm collecting that. I love to collect interest. I don't want people collecting interest off of me. So I think it is, for most people, it's a really bad habit to get into, not being reliable and then at the same time having to pay a debt. Paying interest to others. What is the word I'm looking for? Jordan Peterson uses a word to describe someone that is very responsible. God, what is that word I'm looking for? Okay, well, maybe I'll think about it. I only have one other subject matter. We keep on. Hang on. What? There's other questions here. All right, we got to go back to the. Someone says, I literally watch TV maybe 1 hour a week, maybe 2 hours at most. Radio, same thing except for, dude, I don't watch any TV. Don't watch any TV at all. Only time I've seen TV on is when I'm running by a bar or a restaurant, or when I'm at my parents' house and they're watching, right now, again, it's just my mom now as my father has passed away. But when they were watching the news and stuff, that is when I would see. So yeah, TV, woo. That's filled with lies. TV news, from what I gather, it is filled with lies today. So keep on calling out those lies, people. It's good for your health to call out those lies. And I'm trying to think about the Jordan Peterson terminology. A person who's super responsible and reliable. They are. What's the word? Someone think about someone think about the word that I'm thinking about. It's just a great conscientiousness. Thank you, Bitcoin tabs. You pound that like button. Yes, conscientiousness. That is an incredible quality. Okay, Jordan Peterson, who's a huge fan of IQ, he says the only other factor that matters is conscientiousness. If you're conscientious, conscientiousness, you might not be the smartest dude in the world, but you can be incredibly successful. All right, if you're reliable like that, you're on time. You say you do a new show every day. You get a new show every day. I'm a conscientious individual there. Okay, boom. All right, final topic. This show has gone 20 minutes. It was only supposed to go 10 minutes. Oh, my Lord. You're getting a bonus here, people. Here is a dude. There's a professor out there. Oops, I just went to the wrong tab. There is a professor out there. J.W. Weatherman, by the way, was on the Beyond Bitcoin show on This Week in Bitcoin earlier today, so do check that out. Link to below. DisruptMeister.com. Follow me on Twitter at TechBalt, TechBalt. Professor McCormick here at some elite university. It was talking about, he talked to his students, and he asked his students, will you, back in the days of slavery, would you have been against slavery? And they all said, of course, we all would have been against slavery. Everybody says that. And he said, only the tiniest fraction of them, or any of us, would have spoken up against slavery or lifted a finger to free the slaves. Most of them, and us would have gone along, many would have supported the slave system and happily benefited from it. So, I mean, it's really easy today to say, you wouldn't have done it, is what he's saying. And you can see this in the world with all these SJWs that want to tear every single little teeny thing down that remotely had to touch slavery. Okay, Abraham Lincoln, they want to get rid of. Okay, because for them, it's so easy to say it was a horrible thing. It was the worst thing the United States ever engaged in. Was slavery. There's no doubt about that. But he says my challenge is to show where they have at risk themselves and their futures stood up for a cause that is unpopular in elite sectors of culture and society today. So if you're able today to stand up for something, to state an opinion where you put yourself at risk, your future at risk, and you put your popularity at risk in the mainstream elite culture, okay? Are you able to do that today? Do you have to fit in today? Most people, and this is what this whole show has been about, most people have to fit in today. If you're one of those people, the majority of people, that can't speak up, okay, that has to agree with the current lies, okay, then in the past, you would have been the same darn person. And back in the past, the normal thing was slavery, okay? For eons, it was slavery. So to say, I want to participate in it, you're participating in the lies now. You're not standing, you want to fit in now, okay? So the only people that you can believe would have stood up back in the day to slavery, would have fought slavery, are the people that are fighting the lies now, that know that fitting in is overrated, that by their behavior show that fitting in is overrated, okay? Not just talking a talk, but because there are plenty of people that say, yeah, I'm a rebel, I'm a radical. There are plenty of people that say, I'm a radical. Well, what are they a radical? Right now, the normality, it's totally normal and acceptable to go out there, rip down statues, spray paint, do all sorts of things. And they're saying, I'm a radical. No, that's the normality. That's mainstream. You're not going to lose anything because of that. This is what this professor is. The challenge is, can you talk about something? Can you participate in something today that would get you ostracized by the majority of people? And most people cannot do that. And thus, back in the day, they would not have been able to do that. So they could talk the big game that they want to against slavery and saying how wrong it was for XYZ to be involved in it. But they would have done the same darn thing, okay? They most likely would have done the same darn thing. So good point. I linked to his thread about that. I learned about that on the Ben Shapiro show. So yeah, be an individual. Most people are, to this very day, cannot be individuals, cannot be different, cannot speak the truth. That is what this whole show has been about. So dudes, keep on speaking the truth so we do not end up in some totalitarian Orwellian state where everything is a lie, where lying is normal, and where it's just a sick world. Okay.
So we're going to move into the final part of the show, which is basically trading the market. And so this is where you're going to trade with our $1,000 of crypto. So as of yet, it is yet to be moved into a actual cryptocurrency, but it is sitting on an exchange. What is your trade? Go.
Wait, I have a question first.
Okay.
Adam, you'll have to excuse my ignorance, but why are you anti-trading?
Oh, because if you just hold the Bitcoin, it goes up in value over time. If you trade, you can lose your Bitcoin.
So it's like gambling. When it's
trading is gambling. Trading is totally gambling. I just hold the Bitcoin. Okay. That's all. I've been doing so since 2013.
Crazy. And just an official announcement, when this trading challenge goes well, Matt has, I just wanted to put it out there, Matt has allowed me and my team to cash in on it. So for everyone listening, we can't go back now. This is an official announcement. We get it.
So basically, Adam, no pressure.
And we get a Christmas bonus.
All right, so you've given me $1,000 and you want me to make a trade.
Yeah, go.
Just buy $1,000 worth of Bitcoin.
Okay, so IT guy, can you lock in that trade on Valor? Well done, congratulations. Okay, so that's bought on the old Bitcoin. But I wanted to ask you for some altcoin things to look at, and then I'm going to ask you for a buy and or sell. So I know you obviously trade, but literally all you do is travel the world and meet people who are heavily involved in the space. And what altcoins are of interest to you at the moment? Just throw them out. Start with one.
Just Ethereum, because there are so many people building products on Ethereum. They actually have developers. These other altcoins, I don't think they even have developers, people building anything on them. But Ethereum, I mean, there's a conference here in Tel Aviv, an Ethereum conference, and it has been going down in value. There's been a sentiment. Some people are down on it. Some people are giving up on it. But I do see people are still building on it, and it is not Bitcoin. It's not supposed to be the world reserve cryptocurrency. It's supposed to be the computer. And I am not threatened by it at all. I think I know what Bitcoin does well, and people can innovate on other coins. So Ethereum interests me because it clearly is the #2 cryptocurrency on the planet. I always say Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. I also think Ethereum is the next Ethereum. People say, well, EOS can do what Ethereum can do. Maybe, I don't know. But clearly there's so many more people working on Ethereum, and it's so much larger. And so I think Bitcoin will always be #1, and I think Ethereum will be #2 for the next decade.
So is that a buy or a sell?
Well, again, I am a guy who only buys Bitcoin, but if you, for some reason, if some reason your country said you're not allowed to buy Bitcoin, I think buying Ethereum would be fine now.
Lock that in. We're buying Ethereum.
No. I think it would be fun because I think it is undervalued. I think the sentiment against it has gone way to the negative side, and there are people out there that want it to be #2. They want it to be #1. They'll pile back into it eventually.
Well, I mean, at its height, Ethereum was $1,300, give or take a few dollars. And now it's trading at a measly $179 odd. So if you are interested, I'd say have a go. History is a great predictor of future success.
Well, I will say it was worth 15% of a Bitcoin once, 12% of a Bitcoin. I don't think it'll get that high in terms of Bitcoin again, but in terms of dollars, it will go back up again.
So let's do
the best is Bitcoin. Again, I just want to make it clear. People are saying BitcoinMeister is saying to buy Ethereum. No, we're saying if you can't buy, he's asking me an Ethereum question. So, all right.
So I want to talk to you about Ripple, XRP. I know it's a swear word. I'm sorry, I had to say it. But what the fuck is going on with Ripple these days? So that's trading now
they're
20
cents. I mean, they're putting more of it on the market. It's a totally centralized token. I mean, they could do whatever. The people are dumping it. People are giving up. It's not even a real cryptocurrency in my book. I wouldn't touch that thing at all. Wouldn't sell.
Sell
now, not later. Now.
So, you know what's interesting? I'm fascinated about the economics underlying, anything really, any product, and any cryptocurrency is a product. And so, I'm looking at the circulating supply. It is huge.
Yeah,
there's like 43 billion Ripple units out there.
So they're fake Twitter accounts that say it's going to be as big as Bitcoin, because I don't think there are any real people that actually like that like Ripple. I've never met a Ripple fan. I mean, it's amazing. You see all these accounts just like saying the same thing over and over again, how great it is, how it's the next Bitcoin. If it went up to Bitcoin's price, I mean, it would be worth more. It would be worth almost $1 quadrillion or something. Look how many there are. And so if it was worth $10,000, it would be worth more than all of wealth on earth. So it's not going to be Bitcoin's price, people. I mean, do the math. It's unbelievable. But totally. It's a very interesting product, interesting company that you really can't beat. You can't. I've never met a real Ripple fan in person.
So when I last covered this space about 18 months ago, I believe it was identity tokens or cryptocurrencies that were focused on, or applications thereof were focused on security, identity management, that kind of thing. Is that still a trend these days?
ID stuff, like what Dillingham was doing, what Civic was doing.
There you go.
Yeah, he's still doing it.
Vinny,
he's still doing it. I mean, there's some interest in that. I wouldn't say it's a big thing. I'd say it's a niche thing, definitely.
And then one more, Bitcoin Cash, buy or sell?
Sell now, not later. Now.
And just one more thing. What is Bitcoin SV? That's a new one.
Yeah, they forked off of. There's a guy who's kind of like John McAfee over at BSV.
Yep.
He said he makes up stories just like John McAfee does, but his stories have more to do with crypto. So he has a cult following, and they didn't want to be part of Bcash, so they forked off of Bcash and they formed this coin, and they have their own little cult, and it's that's the thing. They can do what they want to do. That's the cool thing with cryptocurrency. If you don't like the main coin, you can fork off. So let them do what they're going to do. They've got some. They actually have some real fans. I've met some of their real fans. So they're better off than Ripple at least. But that's definitely a freak show over there. And there's some good people there, but there are some good people don't understand that people lie, and that some people, all they do is lie. So over at BSV, it's hard to believe, like, this guy's saying such grand things. They don't get it, that he's just, all he does is lie. There are some sociopaths, psychopathic people, all they do is lie. So they can come into the space too. That's the thing. There are all sorts of people in this space.
Okay, so now let's get into this. Talk about other ICOs out there. Scams, legitimate. How do people do the due diligence? You hear about all these new Bitcoins coming about or cryptocurrencies. Tell us about that.
Okay, well, there's a few different things here that you mentioned. There's Bitcoin, then there are alternative coins called altcoins. And then there are these initial coin offerings called ICOs. They're tokens built on top of other coins. It's complex to explain, but a lot of your viewers they have heard of these ICOs. Incredibly risky. I'm a very conservative type of investor. I just say buy and hold Bitcoin. It's very simple. It's not glamorous, but I think a lot of the people watching this will understand that the tortoise wins the race. The non-glamorous person wins the race. The 20% of the people who do calm things, they win. The 80% of the people who try to get into trading and flipping and ICOs and altcoins, they get burnt. And ICOs are especially risky. There are a few altcoins that your viewers have probably heard of, like Litecoin and Ethereum. You can buy them at Coinbase also. Again, I just buy Bitcoin. That's all I do.
So if they were to do the due diligence, because a lot of our guys out there and our audience members, guys and gals, they do some sort of this trading. They do try to get in and get out, because in the OTC markets, there's quite a bit of volatility there, and some are long-term holders and some are short-term holders. If they are doing the due diligence on these ICOs, any recommendations for them, or is it just buy Bitcoin? Because I completely understand that theory too.
I'll never recommend an ICO. It's completely irresponsible of me.
Perfect. Well, Adam, I thank you so much.